Alright, let's PyHard. Now, I want to be ready to make a few crushers, if I can. They do consume a lot of electricity, a whole megawatt. But this will be an important source of iron and stone. Also, I'm still not sure whether I want to go with this approach or the old one. It does have the advantage of using other fuel than raw coal. On the other hand, I do have the raw coal right here. Yeah. It would reduce the production of ash. That's not bad. And we're starting to run out of the first few places here. Okay. Sap extractor. So everything should be ready for sap extraction now. There's our trees. Well, not all of them, but I have enough. So this is how pretty much all of the biobuildings work in Pi. There's modules. I add 2 trees, and boom. If I also add power, of course. There we go. Oh, you know what? Let's change this. There. Okay, and now I'm producing sap and consuming pollution. So already, this is consuming a tenth of the pollution that all the trees hit by pollution are consuming, which is amazing. Okay, crusher is done. Landfill, I don't think I need to rush for at all. Oh, earthworks. I can actually make water tiles. That's going to be quite useful, but very far away. So this is logistics side spec. I don't have the stone to do any of this. I'm not going to bother. The next step, should I go for the kerogens just so I can get rid of it? So, doing all the math. Producing shale oil from kerogen and steam is a net positive. So the fluid I get out of it is slightly more than what it takes to produce it. Very slightly. It gets better once we get to oil boilers, which double the efficiency of steam engines effectively. But I'm not there yet. And oil boilers, again, need circuits. I think we get there here, oil industry machinery. So it already takes PyScience 1. So I'm going to need PyScience 1. I'm going to need circuits. And then a lot of research. I think only intermetallics matter. Other than that, it's all just the same thing over and over. Oh, and electric mining drills. Electric mining drills are going to be cool, but I also need to be able to power them, which is helped by geothermal power, of course, and the oil boiler. So I'm looking forward to oil boilers. That's going to make a huge difference. Okay, well, let's just get another one of these. And now, as soon as the next one is finished... Oh, I think I'll just interrupt it right there just so I can keep production. Is it really this slow? Yeah, like 80 seconds. But that's good, because all this time that it's working, it's consuming pollution. So now already up to 90 pollution per minute being consumed. Which should be fairly efficient here since there's the boilers and a lot of the miners. Yeah. Now, I'm going to move away from this kind of setup for boilers. Shouldn't take much longer. And that's the first sap being made and not just taken from logs. Now, just to make this easier, this will make sure that I don't miss any trees that will then cause me trouble. And the basic setup I'm going for here, just for the boilers, is going to have its own ash dealt with. That's important, because I don't want to route it through all the other places just to burn it off in ash separator or solid separator, whatever. There. Yep. So now go back to producing the sap seeds. That will be everything I need for a while. And in the meantime, all this is going to build up. Once in a while, I'll just need to add some of those trays. You know, the what's it called? Planter box. Yeah. But for now, that's pollution eaten, which should help a lot with this base. And by the time I need the next select, I should be able to get rid of the base easily enough. Because I need shotgun and all the shotgun ammunition. Okay. Oh. What's got added here? I don't need redo or undo, that's okay. Cut, copy, paste, no. At least I hope they're still going to work with the keyboard shortcut, yeah. I don't need to show milestones. And that should be fine. Right. Oh, equipment fuel manager. Interesting. That's probably going to be helpful because all the portable equipment that takes electricity needs fuel. Well, other than solar panels. You know. Oh, and I'm not researching anything. Should I already go for wood processing? I don't think so. I will need to produce wood. Of course, I will need to automate this. That's obvious enough. But I also need to get moss to even get started. Oh, so which is better first? Seaweed or wood processing? Concrete will give me access to tar processing, which is going to be a whole another thing. I don't think I need to make any of the concrete yet. No, that's only needed for the quenching tower. And this will give me access to a lot of fluid fuels. A recipe to make stone bricks more efficiently. That's actually quite interesting. And also make bricks from rich clay and sand. Sand is free, and rich clay we have as a byproduct right now. So that's very nice, actually. I also need aromatics, but I think there's better ways to make those, yeah. Alright. I need to get started on the tin. Yep. So, which also means that I need more steam, I think. But I will just use what I have right now. So, let's research the seaweed. And then wood processing, sure. Can I get started on the moss right now? Mud is large in carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is made from coke. I don't have a lot of coke. Oh yeah, and I wanted to start on the crushing, of course. Yeah, a bit of a problem is that I already kind of saturated the iron. I'm not using nearly as much of it as I'm producing, so this is a bit overbuilt, but yeah, you know, iron. It's not a bad idea to have a lot of iron. Yeah, of course, this changes all the ratios. What am I missing to make more? Iron and copper, yeah, that's fine. So I should be able to make quite a few of these. Of course, powering them is a bit trickier. But let's see. how far I can get. I will need a lot of underground pipes to bring the steam all the way over to the tin mining. I will need the fluid miners. Why can't I make more of those? Oh, I didn't take the iron plates, right. Oh, and I'm completely out of stone. Alright. Yeah, and we can crush stone bricks back into stone, which is an infinite source of stone, really. Because I can make it with just some oil and stuff like that. There are ways to produce resources out of nothing. And we are going to be taking advantage of some of those at least. Yeah. Pipes, fine. Aircraft inductors are also fine. I think I'm limited by the stone, yeah. So I am going to pick up more inductors. Let's check you. Sure, everything's working fine. Plenty of steel. So usually I have much more trouble getting steel together. This is going to make a lot of things much easier. Now, crushers. The balance here is, of course, different. So each crusher takes in 2.5 iron and outputs 2 per second. That means that I can build 6, right? 1.5, I will need 2 inserters on both input and output. So maybe I should do it like this to keep things a bit compact. Because underground belts are not a big deal. No, just not like that. There. So, can I go all the way here? Yes, I can. So, I kind of like that. Right? Now, flip this around. Oh, it's not exactly symmetrical because I also need you here, right? Can I do this in a better way? I think this is good enough. I don't think this reaches, but I do have plenty of space here. It should work fine. And I don't need any access here, which means actually I can make this more compact, right? Just by doing this. So now I have 2 inputs, 2 outputs. There. And that's it. Oh, now I can't fit the power poles. It's not going to connect, right? Oh, it is. Alright. So this should be good. Now, I'm not going to be able to use both sides of the belt, but that's okay. And of course, I am going to reserve the space for all the 6 that one yellow belt can support. I'm not going to build them. There. I'm going to just pull you straight off. This is just half a belt, which means that I am going to only fill 3. But that's okay. Now, where's nearest power? Somewhere around here. me. Thank you. And that's our first processed iron ore. Processed iron ore, I can just send straight into the furnace back again. But the ratios change. Now, of course, I need to separate the... I need to separate this stone, and how much am I going to be producing? 3 per second. So the smaller of belt should be enough. Actually, let me make a version of the blueprint. No, this is going to be easier. So open it, duplicate it, and I'm just going to call it of belt 2, just to have a little smaller version. So save it, and that's it. Right. So now that leaves me something a little bit like this. Let's go here. And the thing I want to split off is, of course, stone. And I'll just move it straight onto the stone belt. Now, since the consumption of iron ore is so low right now, also, you know what? I want you to prioritize the processed iron. Yeah, let's just remove this entirely and see what happens. Okay. Now, if I put processed ore in there, we can see how this changes. So from 0.8 to 1, we get to 0.5 to 0.16. So that's a much better ratio. So it means that 3 belts of processed iron give us about 1 belt of iron. That's much better than having 5 belts turned into light, right? Or 8 belts turned into 1. There. Okay. Now I will need to empty these furnaces out. Otherwise they're just not going to take in any of the processed ore. Yeah, and of course it also means that the total ash production per iron plate is going to go down, because this is faster. Not by a lot, just 60%. It counts. Right. So everybody here should not be running on processed iron. I'm not going to be able to supply this much processed iron, because I would need 0.5, oh, yeah, 0.5 per second. Each of these produces enough for 3 furnaces. So this whole stack would need, oh, exactly 6. What a coincidence. Almost as if I had this planned. Yeah, don't pay any attention to those extra furnaces that I haven't built. Now, powering those crushers is going to be a bit bigger problem. Yeah, I'm already low on power. But other than that, I want to switch entirely to those crushers. 1, to conserve iron, and 2, to get all the stone, right? Now this is not going to be perfectly balanced, but let me just cut it off. Just like that. Now all of this is also going to back up because I'm not going to be able to consume quite as much iron. I'll deal with that eventually. Yeah, and these also need to be combined together. Which, honestly, the simplest way to do that is probably just going straight here and merging the belts. So there should be 7 and 7. 8. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be. Completely fine. Okay. Anyway, the production from these miners should be more than enough. Or even all those 6 crushers, which I'm not going to have enough electricity to run right now. I'll need to look at what's the problem there. Moss farm. Washer. And soil extractor. And I'll also need a high pressure furnace, and that means more stone bricks, but I should have stone bricks now. Okay. Now things are moving faster. Now that should be the basic setup for moss. Moss also has an extra recipe, which makes things more productive and faster. I'll definitely use it for the first one, at least. And the reason for that is very simple. I want to produce moss quickly. Now, it consumes stone, but only a quarter, no, even less than a quarter a second. No, wait a minute. There. Yeah, a quarter per second once I fill it up entirely with moss. And out goes moss. Now, carbon dioxide and muddy sludge. Muddy sludge is just produced in a washer. Again, this is not a good design. That's not the point of it. Oh, this is convenient. So the whole point of this design is just to get things going quickly. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Okay, get you wired up. You need to produce soil. That gets me my muddy sludge. And for the final trick, the carbon dioxide, I already have a few recipes that produce carbon dioxide, I think. I don't know if any of them make sense. No, I only have the one. So I haven't unlocked anything else yet. There should be some in tar processing. So this produces carbon dioxide, but it's very bad. And that's it. Now let me just quickly check if there's anything nearby. I don't think there is. Yes, no, not a chance, not a chance. Coke and limestone to produce lime. I will be using this recipe soon to produce concrete. So that's not bad, but it takes 15 coke for 100 carbon dioxide, so and that's it, right? This is already wood processing 2, which is logistics science. None of this is anywhere within our reach. What is closer than any of these is better access to coke. So I am going to be making most of my carbon dioxide from coke. And just to keep things simple, boom, carbon dioxide. And let's get you where you need to be. Oh, but turn you around. Coke. And that's going to be my moss as soon as it gets some coke. And coke production has stopped. It goes. You're full again. Oh yeah, it might be a good idea to start using that kerogen. You know what? Oh, that's not the only problem. What else? Coal gas, tar, steam, full ash, of course. Ooh, very full ash. Now I am going to have some extra input here, just to make it a bit easier to get rid of the ash. Oh, actually I have quite a bit of steel, so let's make a steel chest. Now that's going to last quite a while, but it will make sure that this is running full time. The problem is I don't have enough power, and the problem shouldn't be... Oh, the problem is a lack of steam. What? Yeah, I made those and I didn't add the exporters. Eggs. Now it should work a little bit better. But again, the solid separators take up a lot of power. And now the jaw crushes. Yeah, so I need more steam. Would this make sense? Can only fit one more like this, right? So I think that it's time to start thinking about the main production there. Okay, so while I'm limited on steam, I'm not going to get anywhere really, because I need steam to make the tin too. Okay. Yeah, the problem is that, of course, things get worse as the electricity drops. This is a typical death loop in Pyanodons in their early burner stage. Because to separate the ash, you need the solid separators, which need electricity, which needs boilers, which produce ash. Not good. Alright, oh, yeah, moondrops can produce carbon dioxide. But it requires an upgrade called a third, their carbon capture, which I think I'm going to go for. It's the best, I think. So that will make it so that moondrops can be used to produce carbon dioxide just for the cost of running the greenhouse, which is 0.5 megawatt, which is free. It's completely free. So as soon as I get moondrops running, and I get this research, which is a bit expensive, that's going to be the way forward. Now, concrete will give me some extra carbon dioxide, but I don't have the coke production for that anyway. I do need it for tar processing, so let's go there, I think. Should I go for the kerogen right away? No, let's go for concrete, tar processing. So unlocks some more decoration, which isn't bad. And creosote is going to bring us back into electronics. Oh, that looks like a new process. Creosote to extract aromatics. And it consumes creosote and gasoline. Which at this point, gasoline is just fuel oil. Oh, that's actually quite good. Huh. And I get a cheaper recipe to create electric poles. Although that does require the creosote, which is going to be in fairly short supply. I'm not going to be making Oh, I probably should be making electric lamps now that I think about it. Well, I wouldn't usually do that, but for YouTube it makes sense. Were all of those to fill up completely on ash, I must have been in a bit of a... I must have worked for quite a long time. And of course I did a time accelerated for a little bit there. Game. However, of course, this processed iron is going to make everything here more efficient too. So every piece of iron that I produce is going to be oh, there is still iron. Okay. Okay. So this will reduce the ash production too, just because I'll be using fewer murder mining drills, and this costs just electricity. It does cost quite a lot. So this is equivalent to a third of a raw coal, or third of ash per second. So these three produce 1 ash per second, just from the electricity. So yeah, let me try and get some fish. I think that's a good idea. Oh, still not mining? What's going on? Yeah, it's working. Okay. And I have created my first mouse. 5 hours. Oh. It's not easy to compare if you change approaches, which I am. However, I will also... Well, I'm not going to use steel chest, that doesn't make any sense. But I will consume some of the iron. That does make sense. I could get the pipeline running, at least, into the tin. And do I want to run it next to the belt? Or should I just go up top, since that's where it's all going to be anyway? Yeah, the balancing is a huge issue without splitters. What I'm going to do, to help at least a little bit, is this little trick. Now, of course, I could use circuit networks to make this perfect. You know what? Let's move you 1 tile over. No, that wastes a lot of steam. That's fine. And just connect you straight into... That should help. This site is going to be pretty well populated by all the other sources. All of you should be running. Oh, and you're full too. That explains more of this. Okay. While I'm here, that's a simple fix. Can't really extract ash out of here that easily. Let's do something like this. It's a bit ugly and everything, but this is a very temporary setup. Couldn't live for much longer. These shouldn't lock up anymore as long as this isn't completely saturated. I'm not sure if they are enough to saturate it up. Might be. Yeah, in which case... I think I want to do something more like this. If I have everything on the same side of the belt, that's going to work out just fine. No, how do I do that? There. Oh, but I put everything on one side of the belt here too. That's not quite what I want. That's even worse, really. That should be a bit better, because it will go at least on the other side here. Oh. Yeah, I don't have enough electricity. I'm not going to have enough electricity while this is full, so let me just take it on me. Just to keep things moving. And this was already building up, because I'm not producing enough electricity. This is exactly enough for 2 steam engines. So now I have 3 steam engines running. Not quite enough. I'm a bit surprised that the crushers are running. Interesting. So I only have 7.5 on the belt though. Not going to be enough to go all the way down. I can deal with that when that becomes a problem. Yeah, that's intentional. Good. Really. Still didn't consume even the coke I had in there, pretty much. So, assemblers do take power. So it's mainly an annoyance, it's not really a serious problem. Okay. That also boosted our research again. Seems like all the labs are going. Probably not all the time. But I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I can't expand the crushers until I have more power. I can't expand the ash consumption until I have more power. But at least we're now up to almost consuming all the ash that I'm producing. So part of it is still manually shifting to the ground. But that's getting better. Trees. Now, making trees is not entirely easy. And I'm not going to build a full setup yet. What's the smallest thing I can do? So, the problem is that I need to keep adding the tree seedlings. Tree seedlings need a bit like a nursery. They need moss. No, let's automate it. It's not where I want to automate it, because I was keeping all of this for oil processing. And of course yeah, there really isn't any reason to do it here, is it? Just the coke. Huh. I could make coke from wood. It doesn't make sense, but I could. Should I get started on making trees? Because I need to make trees again, right? So let's get started on making the seedlings at least. Once I have the seedlings, things are going to be a bit easier. This is completely full. And I'm running out of room, of course, because I didn't build this very well. Okay, for now just quick build for seedlings. Seedlings need water. They also need tree seeds, which are easily made from wood. I should just make them manually, I think. That's 1 tree seed per 3 seedlings. So if I want to get something like 40 seed trees, that's going to be more than enough. Right, now I need to get the moss there. Let's move you. Or a decent amount of moss. Now for real wood production I'll need a lot more. Which is, at this point, going to be limited mainly by the carbon dioxide, I think. Okay. That should also be another achievement, I think. Or milestone. Yeah, 3. Or the tree, not the seedling, okay. But I should have some planters ready. Planter boxes. I could make another botanical nursery. Okay, I'm missing stone again. Just so I don't have to stand around and wait. New concrete types. Not going to be making concrete just yet. I don't have the coke for it. Stone block. Yeah, I'm going to take all of them. I'm not going to use all of them. But they will be useful. Yeah. And I am actually consuming some ash, at least here. That's good. Glass is building up nicely. Take just a bit with me. I should refuel you. Let me pick up a bit of coal. If I can. Ash. Still not being processed at full speed. Yeah, but I think that with the steel production I have, the best approach would really be to get into fish turbines. Well, let's get some fish. Oh, it also needs stone breaks. That's a 9. So fish turbines are a huge bonus at the early game. Yes, they're not really that expensive. Problem is catching the fish. Yeah, it gets choppy even at just 4 times speed. That doesn't usually happen, but I am recording, so... Oh, that should be done by the GPU, though. Oh, not sure. Okay. Can I reach you? No, I can't. Almost makes me want to get level. Because the problem is that there isn't really any shallow water to work with. And I don't really need to keep picking up trees all that much. Oh, I didn't even finish the sapling build. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, fishy, fishy. Now I need to make sure that there are still some fish left. And that's the processing unit. Good. There's another fish. Now, as per usual, wind turbines do not produce energy evenly. They do produce quite a bit. At the cost of fish. Makes sense. More raw coal, more... Oh, that's chromium. Interesting. There's copper. There's more borax. There's a worm, it seems, yeah. And that's titanium. I'm going to have use for titanium too. This should be the all sands, which I don't care about, but in my way. And that's the lamp. Ooh. Acetylene will allow me to make lead, which I'll need for solder. So I think it's probably the time to start thinking about how to get into circuits. And which way are we going to go? I think Petri dish again, because that will get me to the moondrops, and I will need a lot of resources and time to make moondrops. So let's get those out of the way. I can make the greenhouse. That's nice. I will need tin to make the codex. So I really need to get on tin. And for this, I should have everything I need. Yeah. Oh, seaweed. So, more tin. So tin it is. But tin needs steam. I don't have steam. I need more steam. Star quenching not going to be available, even if I wanted to do it. Oh, that's how I can get rid of flue gas for now. This is going to be interesting. I'm not producing much rich clay right now. How much have I produced in the beginning of the game? Oh, no, play. 620. How many stone bricks did I make? 5,000. Wow. It's consuming a lot more than I expected. Okay, you're done. Ooh. First, let me finish making the tree. Does it need anything else? Yeah, planter box and tree seedling, that's easy. So, seedling, tree, power. Of course it doesn't reach. Okay, and so let's give you 50 planter boxes. Yeah, now things are getting better because this has stopped pretty much. Good. Okay, of course I will add a bit more production there. And that's our first tree. 5 hours and 20 minutes. That's not a record. You are stuck on stone bricks, of course. Let's go with the fish. Oh, you can't put wind turbines right next to each other. It's also pretty typical. They also don't fit quite that nicely into a grid, but that's fine. What time do I have here? Right, so in the last minute, they didn't actually produce much. But the wind is not very good right now. But it will pick up. How many more fish do I have? Yeah. I'll just make sure that I always have at least a few fish, so I can start fish production. That's going to be by sense 1. So it's pretty far. But so is the ocean, right? And there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to catch any fish. Now you can technically automate catching fish. All it takes is just putting some inserters on the beach. I haven't tried it. I don't think there's enough fish in the sea to make it worth it. I don't know if they even respawn. But maybe it's worth a try. Of course, the problem is that the normal inserters we have access to have very little reach. So maybe if I funneled them with landfill or something, it's probably not worth it. It's just a silly thing to do. And maybe I should have refueled the steel too. Okay. Yep. So now we're saving quite a bit of ash production. Right. However, no, it's not yet the end of the episode. I thought it would be. So I can go and start dealing with the tin. It's not going to be anything like a permanent setup, of course. You know what? Making roads out of these turbines sounds kind of nice. I will take all the lead stuff this way. Have it nicely aligned. Now it's on the other side, right? There. Of course it works out. Yeah, that's a lot of work getting through all those woods. Yeah. Did I even get to refueling you? Yeah, I did. I will also need to refuel you, not you. There. That was all the air conductors. Okay. It's light. Why is everything stopped? Yeah, the fish turbines are doing all the work. Nope. They're not always going to be doing all the work, of course. But still very helpful. Okay. Trees are building up. I will move the tree production probably somewhere around here, so it's easily accessible by the science. I'll also want to use it for... No. Well, I also need it for the steel though, right? And the pollution cleanup is working pretty well. Now we have even more machines cleaning up pollution. There's the moss farm. There's the nurseries. Yeah. And the pollution dropped a lot. Okay. I'll switch you over into a box, because now it's time to make some more sap trees. With a simple trick. And About 20 should be fine. Okay, let's get some aircore inductors and get started on its steam. That's the nice thing about fish turbines. I don't have to process so much ash. And actually, let me copy it over here too. Now, you don't want to overdo it too much, because then, of course, the ash is just not going to be able to be processed from here. Oh, you're not keeping up, because there's not enough. Need to get you on the other side of the belt too. Let's just do something like this for now. Should help a bit. Yeah, you're all running. Okay. That should last for a few moments. Now, to improve the production of steam, I need to have a lot more. No, I don't want to go up, do I? No. No. Plans. Should I just really follow the route? So, am I going to need another road there? Probably not, actually, so let's do that. Do I have the flood miners? No, I don't. 2. Let's go with 3. I will also need some for the coal mining. And I will need furnaces. I need stone, of course. Oh, I should be able to pick up some on the way. Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, cutting down wood is one of the more annoying parts of not having construction bots. If I knew there was water, I would just build the boilers right there. I don't want to deal with the ash. It's already going to be bad enough just from the miners. Yeah, I was making quite a few steam engines, but I'm not going to need too many. If I go this way, there's a lot few trees this way, so let's just do it like that. Oh, I need a pump. I will need a few pumps actually. I forgot that fluid mechanics changed. This is quite a trip. Pipeline extend 265, so it's about time to add another pump, which means I need to get electricity too. Oh, I didn't make it. Yeah, engines of course take a while to make. And it's going to consume most of my small parts. I don't think it's the time to automate engines yet. They will just eat up all my small parts. And there's not that many things that will need engines right now. There. Just a little bit more to completely avoid the copper patch. I could have at least used some of this time to make something by hand, but I don't really have anything that would take a lot of time, really. No. This needs to be perfectly aligned, of course. All right. Let's get mining. I'm going to go on one side for now because it's going to be a bit easier to deal with bringing the coal. And of course I'm going to do all the processing on site. I'm not sure exactly what the ratio is going to be. That's where I'm going to get the coal. Yeah, come on. It needs 10. Or, yeah, it needs 10 per tin plate, but it actually needs 40 to even get started. Oh, while that's going on, let's get started on the coal. There we go. So coal is going to come from the top. I'm going to offload the ash. I'm going to use the longer one. Yeah. Ash. I'll also need to take ash from here, though. They're working now. So 0.66 per second. Each of these makes 0.5. So that should be fine. Okay. Here, one should be more than enough. Let's give it a little bit of space at least. There. Ash again. And I'm just going to put them all in one. storage. I will deal with this eventually. Nothing to worry about. There. And those are my first tin plates. Temporarily. Okay. You should be able to keep up. This only consumes 400 kilowatts. Rock hole is right there. I hope there isn't a nest in the way. The pollution shouldn't be too bad. I hope. There is a nest nearby. Which is not ideal. And I'm going to use the same belt to carry the ash as well. There's the stone I need. Kind of forgot about it. Okay. Belts are running low. I'm certainly not going to be able to bring this back into the base right now. That will be fine. Alright. 2 miners should be more than enough. And they will make sure I don't have too many problems with the buyers. Because each of those has 12 pollution per minute. Oh. This might not work. I can't do anything to protect these either. They're very close. There's a few trees. That's probably not going to be enough. I can't kill 2 spawners. Not a chance. Well, I do have the armor at least. I don't have any food. Did I just try? Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. Okay. No, that wasn't the greatest idea. Well, normally I would just reload, but I think it makes more sense to go with a respawn on the recording. Assuming I can get there in time to pick up the corpse. It's not that close. At least I can pick up belts. Okay. Should be able to just build the belt. Well, if I don't spend time chopping trees, that is. It's really choppy. I don't know why. And it doesn't always happen. Well, how much time do I have to pick up the corpse? Like 10 minutes? 20 minutes? Something like that? And I also quickly have to make sure that the ash from the belt gets stored. Doesn't get mixed up. And I maybe should have added storage at the end of the belt, but that's going to be fine. course, it's going to take a long time for the tin to go all the way down. Slower than walking. There, perfect match. Yeah, and it's already stuck with plenty of ash. Don't have anything. And I might have problems picking up the corpse. It's still going to attract all the biters. There, right around there. That's annoying. I don't even have the armor now. Okay, oh, come on. Okay. I need to be faster. At least to get them away from the corpse. Oh! I got a gun. I didn't know that happened. So maybe respawns are not a good idea after all. I shouldn't have guns. This is PyHard. The problem is they all run at the same time. But I can sacrifice myself. Are we going to return to the base now? So. Okay. Now I still am going to get chased by the buyers, I think. Can I do something to make this less horrible? Send that engineer to that engineers, free that engineers, and they're way too close. There. Okay. Go home. I didn't expect I'm going to spend so much time just trying to recover my corpse. Because normally by this time you would already have, like an automatic rifle or something. Machine gun. I am fairly close to military science. Making the ammunition itself, not so much. I need evaporators for sulfur. That also needs tin. It needs concrete. I guess I should do that after all. No matter. Yeah. Then I can just leave that corpse to decay. I think it only has the... Oh, I did manage to pick up a few things. Totally not worth it, but, let's try again. Yeah, I can lose them in the forest. Leave me alone. Go home. There's nothing interesting in here. Oh, I'm just going to lead them straight into the base. That's not good. Okay. That should be enough. Now they should be going back home. Oh, they're not. I can handle 3. If I have the armor, I think. No, they do 7 damage. Was it always 7? Sounds like more than I remember. Okay. Whoa, wait a minute. I don't have to do this if I just make sure that everything's on the same side of the belt. Yeah. Exact opposite of this. There. They're wandering awfully close. This is definitely going to be a problem. Nicer if I could use biomass. Or actually, I don't think there's pollution mechanics like that in Pyanodon. Okay, now everything should be working fine. This produces 1.5, this consumes 1.3 or so. And that already made 16 tin plates. Is that all? That is all. 32, okay. I lost a lot of time running around. Yeah, even though the time is accelerated, of course, the in-game time isn't. But that's it for this episode. So, bye.